everybody, welcome back to the Lorcana Dads. We're here for a little bit of game talk discussion. We got the main man of the play scene, Mr. Jason, back. He and I got to get in some games today, kind of just some real
Yeah,
laid back games. I enjoyed that today. It's a lot less
yeah, it was nice.
stress than league play or competition play, I guess. So,
Yeah, it was good. Good practice. It
yeah.
wasn't quite casual, but it was. We worked on each other.
Yeah, we
Well,
helped
we
you. I mean,
were.
we kind of had an open dialogue going during the games too, because
Right.
I always you tend to have a better grasp, and I say this as a compliment, a better grasp on where play is headed whenever you're playing a match. I tend to see the plays that are in front of me and not really thinking ahead so much. So it's always fun to have an open dialogue, especially when I'm like, well, should I play this here? What would
Yeah.
you do if we were in a competition setting? Anyway, so how
Yeah.
you feeling about the game, Jason? How you
I
feeling
feel
about
good.
Lorcana?
I don't think it's as stagnant as people tried to think it was in the first
Right.
week or two of this
Yeah.
set. Like a lot of people were kind of doom and gloom about there only being, the one or two meta decks,
Yeah.
and it's starting to open up, and you're seeing a little bit more diversity right now.
I think so too. Well, also I think people are
And that kind of varies.
varies
Go ahead.
the doom and
It
gloom.
varies by location.
Yeah, it does. But I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
think people are getting creative. They're working to build, when you know what people are going to bring, when you know what people are going to play, that's the meta, you work against it. And there you figure out what will work
yeah,
against it. So I know everybody thinks it's
yeah.
red and
You had
blue.
that.
Go ahead.
It was, everybody was saying blue steel or red blue, and
Yeah,
everybody was kind of like, well, my such and such deck isn't going to work. But you have to be willing to adapt, and you don't have to just, oh, it's the meta deck. I gotta buy all that and do
right.
do that. Adapt yours to try to play it.
Yeah,
You know, I think that's better than quitting.
right. Yeah. I mean, you see everybody immediately start going, "Oh, we need to ban these cards. We need to do this." But I think you just have to get
Yeah.
creative or step up your game, so to speak. So,
Well, like everybody was calling for an errata for the Sapphire Coil. It is a
mhm.
very powerful card and can lead to some game-breaking situations, but it's not, it doesn't come out on turn two, and it doesn't really do as much as everybody thinks it does.
Right.
I mean, it's a great card. I like it, but I don't really find myself in situations where I'm thinking, oh, this is the next Bucky,
No.
you know.
Well, you didn't play it. I didn't remember you playing it at all today. I was playing against your red blue
Uh,
deck, but I didn't see Sapphire Coil.
yeah, I played it and I made some changes to try to see what I could get away with as far as reducing certain things.
Uh-huh.
Because my deck is more red blue actions with Maui Shark.
Right.
Um, the items are just kind of a draw engine, and Sapphire Coil helps with the Sisus.
Yeah.
So I trimmed some Sapphire Coils, and that's going to go. Those changes are going to be undone, but just making changes to the deck to see what works better.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I keep coughing. This pollen, if you live anywhere near me and Jason, you know that the seasons are rough right now. The pollen is getting us down here in the south.
Yeah,
Um, I think from
take that out in
playing
post production.
take out the coughs in post production. I'm not that good yet, Jason. I like to
Yeah,
get some content churned out. Um, it's been really interesting for me, because I'm always we don't you and Brian, our local guys, are the only two that typically bring the net decks to league play. Because everybody else is still newer
yeah,
players or they don't have access to all the cards. But I've seen some of their decks, their homebrews do really well against y'all. They may not win, but they still
yes,
make you play. They make you play. They make you work toward that win. And it's just to me, it's interesting to see, what people can do against what they call the unbreakable meta. I actually pulled up. Let me see if I can share it. See if I've got it. Share.
And a lot of that, the home brews work because as a player, you try to guess what your your opponent's going to have in their deck.
Right,
And in larger tournaments, you can kind of guess that because everybody's kind of consistent because everybody's kind of playing, you
right.
know, net decks or whatever.
Yeah,
So it's when somebody drops something down there that you haven't seen in a couple sets, it kind of makes you think more and
right,
can the more you have to think and the more options there are, the more chances you have to make a mistake.
right.
And that's what happens a lot of times.
Yeah. So I pulled up, I went on Ink Decks, which if you guys don't know the Ink Decks site, it's pretty interesting because when you first come into it, you can the main screen gives you metagame, best colors, top decks, tournaments, cards. And if you go to metagame, it's kind of compiling tournament decks from all over the United States, all over the world that people have entered. And it just kind of shows you what they're considering the meta right now. You've got the Ruby Sapphire Popsicles deck, which is the items deck or the actions deck, I think, which is geared more a little more toward actions. You've got the Sapphire Steel items, the Sapphire Steel aggro. Those are what they're calling the tier one decks. I think we can all agree that that's kind of what we're all seeing when we go to league play. And then tier two, it's
Yeah.
still classifying bounce. Amethyst Steel bounce has finally got up there. Still songs up there, and then there's an Emerald Steel discard up there. And then you roll into tier three, but we don't see a lot of those. Sapphire Steel, Blurple, discard, bounce control. There's a lot in that tier three deck. But again, I think so. This is a really cool
Yeah.
resource that can kind of show you what you're playing against, what the masses are playing out there. So I think it's if you don't know this resource, folks, you really should check out inkdex.com. And you also, I mean, Jason,
And
is this
there
where you used to pull stuff?
I look at a lot of stuff to I use Dreamborn and this one is good because if they collect deck lists from tournaments they'll be posted here.
Yeah, I'll show you guys
But as
that
far as
too.
the meta and
Yeah,
the tier listing, that's about how many people, that's like a population report
yeah.
more likely.
So if you go
Because
into the tournament side,
I wouldn't consider Amethyst Steel to be a tier two.
right, it's
I
probably
think
lower
it's at
this time.
least a 1.5.
Yeah. So if you look at
No,
the
it's better.
tournaments, you can go through and it'll say like, let's do this first one, the 5K tournament at this Gubu game, 63 players. You click on it, and it only shows the first. These were only two decks they recorded, but first place there was
Yeah.
Blue Steel and Ruby Steel. So it's just a neat
Hmm.
resource that I don't know that we've talked about on here. Again, it's one website's opinion. You have to base it kind of on off your own. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I've seen success with Purple Steel this set. Um, a lot of my Purple Steel success depends on if Jason gets the draw, if he gets what he needs. But I also think that
Hmm.
the games we played today kind of had you thinking about some different lines of play at times. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, some of the changes I made mine less consistent,
mhm.
and consistency is what makes or breaks a deck.
That's what I'm learning. You gotta. That's what I'm gonna even refine my Purple Steel down more to. You have one win condition that I was kind of going for, which makes everything else really slow. By having I'm playing that
Hmm.
Jafar wheel combo, and if you're going for that, it's a slow win. It's a slow burn. You have to get there. If you don't get it, it's slow. If you get it, it could be pretty quick. So I want to try to refine it to keep that option in there, but also have a little bit more low end first beginning of game speed to kind of help out a little bit.
Yeah, I think your deck would benefit from adding White Rose. Well,
But yeah,
did you have that?
I did not have that one.
Yeah,
I
if you
wouldn't
don't
grab
have
that
White
one.
Rose, I think it would benefit from White Rose.
So that gets me that lore on turn three too. Um, so also, so that guys, that's kind of where the meta is right now. There's not a lot to report. Jason and I haven't gotten to play a ton. He'll play in Birmingham tomorrow, or he'll play in Birmingham on Sunday, which well, that's tomorrow. So
Yeah.
hopefully he'll maybe he plays a lot more top tier level players there. And we didn't we it was just casual play today.
Well,
Go ahead.
I've noticed a lot in tournaments that it was a lot of blue steel,
Hmm.
and the blue steel has fallen off because it's showing to really not be as great as advertised.
Right.
You're seeing blue red kind of surge to the top,
Uh-huh.
and then you're seeing amethyst steel show up a lot more, and you're
Okay.
seeing the aggro amber steel show up, and the emerald amethyst is kind of bumping up there too. The
That's
aggro
green
discard
purple.
type
Green
or
purple.
aggro
Yeah.
burn discard type.
Yeah.
Yeah, green purple.
So, talking about that,
Um,
guys, um, I want to say, and I know Jason would appreciate this too, thank y'all so much for all your support over the past 2 weeks. We really
mhm,
saw, I've posted a lot of shorts content, which is, it's a lot of work to keep up with, but you guys really showed up and showed out for us, like liking and commenting and sharing. And this channel's grown a lot more. I know there was a period of time where Jason and I couldn't record a lot, and we still can't do these
mhm.
group things as much. But I'm figuring out a way to supplement it. I'm figuring out a way to make sure that there's always stuff out there for y'all to consume. And y'all just really have shown up. There's been a lot of comments, which I've appreciated. And it's really fun to see it growing. And I appreciate that. I know Jason does. He's not on here
Yeah, I
as
do.
much as me, but I know we both do. We both appreciate your support, your comments, your encouragement, because a couple of y'all are really encouraging about our pull rates. I've really enjoyed just getting to make this stuff for everybody. So,
It's been great seeing the subscriber count rise and the
mhm.
interactions, and I really appreciate the hard work you put into it
Well,
too.
thank you. Thank you. I enjoy, for me, this gives me something different to do. And I know that's what Lorcana is for a lot of adults. I think it's something different. And making these videos, it's fun to sit and talk and know that we might be helping somebody else out there. Somebody might who
Yeah,
doesn't get to play as much as we do, who collects the cards and tries to play casually at home. Just it's I've enjoyed it. I can't don't know what else to say. I've enjoyed it a lot. Um and Tim and
yeah,
I
I've enjoyed this game a lot.
yeah. And I enjoy our time getting to do this stuff, Jason, like sitting down and just chatting.
Hmm.
We may be boring at
Yeah,
times, but who knows? You know. Guys, Tim and I have been talking at the store about hosting a 1K here in Tuscaloosa. I don't know how many people could travel. We're trying to get some pricing together for that. I have a D23 box that I'm thinking about putting up as pricing, along with some cash pricing. Our issue here in Tuscaloosa is our location and the size of the location. I think our max cramming us in there on a Sunday is going to be about 45 to 50 people. Um, if
that's going to be
It's gonna be tight.
elbow to elbow.
It's gonna be tight. I thought about putting some folks in the parking lot, but nobody wants to do that. Um, but hey, if we do one, it's full and it grows. What's to say we won't host something somewhere else in the future? The theater that I work at has some space. Who knows what we'll see in the future? I mean,
Right.
I think the game's growing, growing, growing. So
Yeah, I see a lot of people, new players every week on
yeah.
Discord.
And we've also got a lot of new people coming into the store, which
Hmm.
in a town of Tuscaloosa that doesn't have a huge trading card game community, we've had a lot of people coming into the store to play. So, is there
Yeah.
anything else that we haven't hit on, Jason? Like anything
Um,
new in the game? I mean, we haven't talked about Jafar. Okay, I got something we need to talk about. Let's talk
okay.
about who created these cards that they put out on us on April Fool's Day and had all of us going,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we got some new cards." And then I'm like, "It's April Fool's Day. What these folks doing? Whoever made them did a good job." But
The uh the steel card got me because I couldn't recognize what it was.
right,
And then I started seeing the other cards and I was like, that background looks really familiar and that type doesn't really look great. Somebody put some good work into it, but it just didn't look exactly genuine.
right.
Kind of made me think, oh, wait, today's April 1st.
Well, what's going to be funny is when
So,
those cards actually show up in the Jafar set, and we're like, "Oh, they weren't kidding." Who knows?
well,
I was
uh,
excited.
I have to believe that the red genie Jafar
He has to. It's
has
a
to have a
Jafar
card.
set. The Jafar
But
set.
Tarzan was, had me thinking because I had read something recently about the rights to Tarzan was hard to reapply for to use him in the game.
Really, I didn't know that.
So I figured there would be a big announcement if they just dropped a Tarzan card.
Yeah, it'd be like Pocahontas. I do think we've
Yeah,
got a lot on the horizon for Lorcana. We've got Jafar set, which should release. I saw the release date today. It's May 30th in hobby stores, June 6th everywhere else.
yeah,
So we're literally a month and a half
hmm
out from that. So reveal season should start pretty soon. So I'm going to try to do a better job
and
of sharing those reveals on our Facebook page. So make sure you're following us on
I'm
Facebook to keep up with that. So
curious what that set will be like because I believe that's gonna be the first set where we're gonna have like a pre-release event
yeah,
where they may have like pre-release kits where you get certain packs of cards.
okay. So you think it'll be different than just,
Because
hey,
like
open six
Pokemon,
packs?
yeah, Pokemon, you have a ready-made deck, and then you get like four packs with it, and you adjust that deck with those packs.
Oh, okay. Does everybody have the
So
same ready-made
hopefully it's
deck?
something similar.
Does everybody have the same
Yeah, they're pretty
ready-made?
similar.
Okay. So it's not, it's almost like
Yeah.
starter decks in a way, and then you can
Yeah,
work on
it's
them
like
from
you
there.
took a starter deck and then you got four random packs and then you adjust that starter deck with those packs.
Okay. All right. That'd be kind of cool to see. And then, of course, after the reign of Jafar, we've got the Fabled set, which we're hearing some speculation on lately. Fabled, and possibly, there's been some speculation. I mentioned it a while back that I thought it would be a reprint of the first chapter with new artwork to kind of help bring people in. But Jason said he heard it online, read somewhere that somebody was speculating that. So we'll
Yeah, I've
see.
read a few people speculate that because on the artwork they use, it's the Mickey is the brave little tailor,
Yeah.
just in the
But he's
different
in like
art
a
form.
weird watercolor storybook look, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah, water. Yep. So, well, I think we've got a lot coming up, guys. The thing that I'm trying to work out, and Jason and I have talked about it, but it hasn't happened, is some gameplay videos. I think we need more cameras to do that. If we want to, I don't know if we want to
Yeah.
record a game and then commentate back on it while we watch it, but that's something Jason and I are working on. We've talked about it, and that might be something we try to do in the next 2 or 3 weeks, is play some games and record them and comment and just show you kind of our thought process as we play. It's really fun. For me, it's really fun to watch Jason and listen to Jason's thought process because he has a really good handle on the gameplay of the game. I tend to make a lot of mistakes. I just play too fast and or I'll not misplay, I'll say, "Oh, I should have done this first and the benefit would have been better."
Yeah.
So, and that comes with practice, but anyway, let us
Order of
know what you want us
operations.
to do. Let us
I
know what you want to see.
With our subscriber count, we can go live now and we may live stream during the tournament.
Okay. I think Jason just
If
he's
that's
glitched
I'm
out on
just
me a little
throwing
bit, but your sound is not glitched out, thank goodness.
just just spitballing out there that, maybe we could live stream while we play.
Yeah. Well, I know
That way we're
if we do a 1K, I will be judging that since I'm putting up the prizing. So I might do like a each match we'll host somebody live and I'll get my microphone and be like, "And we're into round 1 of the Lorcana 1K." It'd be kind of fun. I will tell y'all, and y'all can help me petition
yeah.
for this. I sent a message to Ravensburger last week and said, "Look, we ain't got a lot of folks following us, but we are growing. Please give us a card reveal." So if anybody knows anybody at Ravensburger, tell them the Lorcana Dads want to reveal a card for a set. I don't care what set it is, but it would tickle me pink to get to reveal a card. So who
That would
knows?
get us
Maybe they will.
a lot of viewers.
I think so. That's my hope. Ravensburger, help us grow. I'll send you something in the mail too. Anyway, well, Jason, I think that about does it. I've got all of our stuff ready to send out to the folks that won. Jackson and
Yeah.
Holden got theirs today. They were really stoked. It was really not fun that
Yeah.
they won. I really
Oh, I
appreciated
was
that.
glad they won.
So I'll look at doing some more giveaways. I just got to buy some more stuff. I do have, for the next couple of weeks, I have compiled, um,
Uh-oh.
a whole bunch of packs.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, spent some money, but it's okay. I'll be opening those the next few weeks. I've got also still have a Costco pack I haven't opened. Got two of those up here, but Inklands ain't worth much right now, so I just feel like anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be posting a lot of openings. Excuse me. Anyway, anything else, Jason?
No, that's good. We had a
You good?
good chat.
Yep. All right,
Yep.
guys. We will see y'all next week, next go round. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, thank you,
Yep.
thank you for the support. Keep sharing, liking, and
Thank y'all.
commenting. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
And don't forget to smash that like button.
And hit that share for our friends on the other side.
And don't forget to turn on all those bell notifications.
And we'll see you on the next video.